video version.
Assalamu alaikum badin jibril almel kabula LSTV1 no makafale fanan donko alfele almurunta nan alla programme to mimmo Gambia la Politico de nyimmo programme to mi yalon kon kanati LSTV1 arba lungol la ni wato sita ka fale don fanan bi arba lungol fele murunta nan LSTV1 pour kate programme kilin na tale mi yalon kon ka fa Gambia la Politico ni lungo sita don ka mol na te jam mi yalon ko wollon politicien de pour kaje fanko ni se kacha ko wala ko la Politico ni tamandi nyala Gambia banko nyin kanjang ka fale fanan don luntamba be fe Gambia la Politico programme to bi mi yalon ka tele na luntawde wala keta Fanding Baldeh mi yalon ka te fanam dabe molle kono mi yalon ko to le ka folo ka fami ko operation cleans NPP nimmo do afasalla do wala nyinde ko ka fu bulola wala bulola mi yalon ka na pour ka NPP senene bar ngamra ko nin dunda kacha nyin ko nyulbe be kala fendila do mi yalon ko abe senela mol auto kamala science de fe o fen kala do be silo yin dila na luntambala min keta Fanding Baldeh ate fonin jibelal senyo kontam LSTV1 janni fon be dunda kacha ko na bismillah fande
Abaraka bake Mr.
Parlamin
Fati. Definitely ngal tentu ngal jay alla invitation wala ya akatane horma kubati ani bunyati ya problem kumande nan jang mfananga na la studio to Gambian kole kacha Politico la fanala andung na law fanana law be minke kam Politico kono nga yitande abaraka bake Mr. Fati for having
abaraka bake ngalom biya kamunda ko ninna fulani ngole nyati li nyola to kamunda ko kacani be diala bake to kamala ngalon ko janning programme bana bare ko fulol be ka wabat woni ko to le wadoro ka e ke bula jeta but na tara ko be nyin karo kala in a word albo operation cleans NPP for NPP not al family
lamin NPP man no ha NPP man no de ninko cleans na min komin ko seniandir kemsama ni cleans koto fango jibe angale kamoto komin fengo milom do min be seneyari ka seniandi ku fengo min be jankurin ka jankundi ku sanan ku rote abe seneyari ne ka seniandi ku
abarka bakelaw jabiro nyinto sayente ngamra ko be dunna kacani fon kono nyimmo kafulete mi alon ne ko allota mbe lafila kalon nyin kafo mun tuma allota jumani jamale be nyin kafo nyin ko ma anin dalila jamale ko yati nyin kafo nyin allota nyin kata operation cleans NPP
baraka bake Mr. Fati nin kafo de I mean allota nin benin April karo min kono tan birim bota nin député carte fayola birim bota nin last National Assembly election wala na party o NPP na disappointment ba soto je na jusula balia soto je ha so na performance man na beta ya je inata ya jibe result sol fintita le Gambian be alon NPP ya damen win anim fota damen la so kulle keta mili alon ko annene famata kala nim banko kanja Politico la tariko to parti mbuko NPP na we know min soto presidential elections na landslide victory min soto je yewo jibe yana ni National Assembly election o jibe nata victory min soto je aketa slight margin nete but ni nata jibe karadola fanam Gambia la tundo mi ya lonko na masa kunda ujelo na capital la mafangola na Greater Banjul area here West Coast ni region Sabol oppositional yewo mume tambulule and the war is very unfortunate because near Jibe even part of LRR near Jibe geographically a concentrated dula kilingoleto kabo Banjul kata all the way Kiang kabo Kayaf all the way Banjul NPP siran kilin ne win party toyala na coalition partner APRC flowing in the KM region NPP yemin fango win abe West Coast le olong all yundum consequences Banjul capital of fangoto mi alon ka be doyari voter sol man sia population man sia and three consequences long ani siran killing ma win je ni ne diminna e parti dingol soto aman dandula soto molla sita nga jibe na parti mune nin cause parti mi ya lonko na presidential election or win with landslide victory nataje ko nin National Assembly election or turn out to be like this nko mune yen no sita ngam fanyi nin ka parti dingol tel meli alon ko bata parti ya kachal keta yes nataje ko problem wole be parti kono problem o mi ya lon ko wole ni cause ano problem o ni mawuli ni sute ni identify nga solution jibela ni problem wol kat ebe kala problem wol mi ya lon ko akapati batandi bakele ni ma hakilo to akapati faale.
So in essence na tar ko mba faham la akamunta ko kabrale fo ba so don ali amira ko ali problem so and wo problem ni anyanta wol remedy la wala ya sabu nyin ka fo nyin
very good
okay nin nata ko min be
sita wolto ngam ngaje ko min ko fonga ka fo from pangol kono e parti kono mili alonko iseke problem wol jelati and e wuli problem wol you solve e watola janning abe a problem wol be impact sotola because naning problem it was visible abenu jele janning National Assembly election yes momondi ni ya ji hakilo to Politico to makamo siata no nyame parti kono diamo siata some of these things were clearly written on the wall we saw them coming but we ajale nin kafo be nun jenu janini wato se chance soto nun ka wuli ngan kangol di nyonna ngaji ko ni problem wol ye solve jannabe tarde la janin tarde o be kala jannabe let la
Mr. Baldeh comme ya ko nyame fay mamira nun ko an jartal nun altole ke motimi anduka ali wuli before parliamentary elections ibajala ko albe nyin problem wol remedy la janne fon albe fola wosiran jamal rather than ali bat fo kabri ngale foso do don alna wul ka fo nyilla
ito nyala Lamin that's very right I mean among ke farm 40 but I mean some of ntel nganim problem wol jele and definitely nga try le pour ka wuli ka problem wol solve mbe television all tajang and it's a live program nyatra manto nyafo I mean molseng you know challenge no exactly. Or like they put things right yeah I mean basic consequence mantra sirin I'm not a registered voter there but ala yake wuluta jela mbe sirin combo sign for over 2 decades I mean mil pareta ka loje NPP nyebe lonna mbe mo parti dingol let diamo be sia kan competition be sia kan ngaje ko nimma wuli mbe problem be soto la jela because most of the time this independent candidate this election or any other elections most of the time they used to emerge from political parties most of the time ruling parties ekabo letter and most of the time these are the unsatisfied candidates Mili Alonko Ibuka satisfied. Most of the time they rejected. Mili Alonko, they are not satisfied with the selection process. One like independent. And most of the time, you will lota a ruling party la votes will divide. So to avoid that, Basen Jel Wulita, I know the people, Mili Alonko, a contester. If I try can apply to contest. Yes. So we did something there. So that Gambia mo soto ye mo kilimbula aetambe and definitely I impact soto jele ye moile I mean a lot of these people means a problem cost no most of them means a problem cost no the NPP votes wala we are able to make them back down and the same not only back down but also through their support behind the NPP candidates so that it's a victory sort of. The aspirants candidate like Alaji Jallo, I mean, near in video GB, is in Sedia no Kumola, Buba Jallo, and even the elected National Assembly member for Basse constituency, Wallon Sekuti. So demande. And I tried the same thing to do the same thing in West Coast here, especially during the selection of Brikama South and Brikama North. Data selection bulaje. Lafta kana honest opinion on the la chairman ola so that se wol sifal use no janabe late la but Manchan Soto. It was a total blockage among opportunity di molla to take part, among opportunity di molla pour molia makoy. So, I mean, getting crusade start. I don't want to name names. Yes, I don't want to point at people, but make example just to, I mean, authenticate na answer. And so afananding alatema ayalong woketale nte matale up to the selection ground, selection room, but amanna chance dinner. And actually, because I wasn't in that committee for selection, I mean for Neko, that meeting is confidential, even though he knows that I am a party supporter. And I do sacrifice for the party in Kaspenka Kuolke, but I have to excuse them because if I mean for is confidential. Yes, but ngami itandala. I'll be favoring for confidential, but the outcome of this meeting is going to be publicized. No money to So, I mean, favoring confidential at the end of the day, it's going to get out.
Come in a sense, come iba for Kanyama, Kamunda Kodla, and Pomondrol Kanyami Katafenatiana with Montana Silver. Formosa Kono Bricamasa, come here for Yam. Alternate Ahmad Gitan level for Konomia and Kalia and for that selection process wasn't done in the right procedures.
Aseke mantra kafukono at that time, Aseke agreed on that selection process or I problem settled because evident by the noise being created. Yes, in every selection process, there must be satisfied members and unsatisfied members. But the rate at which noise creator and the degree or the magnitude of the noise, I mean, there is a problem with the selection process because near sometimes the people a contester, the applicants, sometimes the selected people and the rejected people, a biography GB. If because something is not right here. So definitely, I mean, selection process a problem created. But in poor performance, Mr. Fati, a man start well before the selection process.
Probably
now for video corner.
We will
video do that now for them. NPP la problem on poor performance problem start that large and firing a little.
Okay, we will get there.
Yes.
Kabring Albany Kafolo, combining a National People's Party, NPP, I couldn't call right from the president, the president, and our Barrow, the Canard Fondum. For all Ali consultation, Walla Kalni Moleka, Cabral Benin Kafori Daka, Walla Kalwul, Domale Kafola, Alco we are within our rights and in Kafol and Furkata.
No, we are not challenging anybody. Mantra mo challenge. Okay. More consultation came because in our at the end of the day, it's clear coming until we are going for the leadership. But definitely, more kilimbuka wulino I can follow. When I came up with the idea, I share it with people and the company because you see, telling a situation of GBL. Nimmol man wuli ka kudo ken telbe minke kantem found tel ngajele komen ko it's a responsibility somebody has to play in the party because situation on nata whereby party dingol kampata somebody have to get up and I try a party dingol la kamfa manage. This is exactly what we are doing. In addition to Kajeko, the party has a better leadership. Because ning kamfa keta, mol mil kamfata. Platform create ye, medium create ye here out, ye moy. Nim mo kamfata, na be daring akam. And as long as a be daring akam, he doesn't easily make peace with himself. So, akatra kamfani katra jele so much so that ni make kon dole situation dole kana wala dole kana ke victimity of that kamfa me along ko wo is totally innocent birin ni situation o keta ngajele ko something must be done pour ka parti dingol la kamfa duben ke la kamfa tala that's why ngani group because ning anyanta bolete leadership ole kono birin quality nyata ngani performance soto itel leadership ole nil itel le nyanta ka wuli parti dingol ye address medium ye create parti dingol ye la kamfa alfo ye medium parti dingol invite ye la problem all for presently like ntebe min keka na forumo be min keka ngana problem all for nga kamfa alfo ngana solution all for nga way forward jibe so ntebe min keka nteng is not to challenge them is kana kamfa da yitandi nga platform create nga medium create parti dingol ye la kamfa alfo just like a therapy session so this is like an anger therapy session Grupo is serving that purpose for now and is serving that responsibility so parti dingol ala yake molbe finti kanem ibe la kamfa alfo kam ibe parti la problem all fokam nil be safe kanne nil ibe use lale pour parti la problem o ye solve so operation cleans NPP amanna mo bayndila amanna place nyinina amanna mo kajafi amanna mo neng I mean this is the first time Jamfang I made mention of few names just for example odi because yen nyenen ka amena pour ka ojabi anata ninnela pour kam parti dingol nganna kamfa da yitandi number 1 ka parti makoy kana problemol identify ke solution jibela mbe solve la nyame andun ka parti makoy parti dingol kamfa mil be kono company AG by allowing them express themselves. Operation Cleans NPP le nata and so I mean dolka for we are it's not a command any name for better that we are a rebel group rebelling against them no man we are not rebelling till we are NPP die hard we because ning I mean yeku soto kafo ale ku soto mi yal dimin akamol be dimin bari akamole dimin baake mi ye kano soto kafola dan milma soto baake
in a sense comme e kan volo ni do atole la forme soto NPP wala tina ko ni yatol dimi ka tammi modol fon
exactly
okay akamunda ko na tar ko ngi moy ku akamunda ko president Adam Barrow mi fon yalla na tele mi nyaton ko National People's Party amambo atola move kalamda wala ko amamba kalam jannim fon alba commencé ami wala nyindi ko alma console okay na tar fanan ko alma console adola ka fo keda multi mi yalla ko sainten albe commandiro ke kala chairman wala mi yalla ko be KMC Banjul anin West Coast yamira musulale be pour kaje ko nyum modu ale ko mandiro min ke pour kaje ko nyante la place o dal yamira ko musulale be pour kaje ko nyum la place
ha sula ko ni aje ngetel commande pour que la place ol dim yae politico je filon mi alon ko nga tarale andum batula jam dolle mina iba tala ka continue because political natale political system ol natale pour kanna ballunya dada pour kanna bankol dada so muku let mi alon ko nga tarale ande mbatula janne so coming ka excellence bambande ka daji ka beto bambande anen ka professionalism bambande wala tin benin foka because I mean niye bankudol jibe like in dunia to mi alon ko ibulo ko ita ila dokol to bake wala nanko in any professional setup ning ye ko be dila ye resources be dila min nyanta kendile eteke la doko ke If failed an extent of below expected, far below expected, all coming ke la palaso sile, eka resign. No je dunia be kono le. I give you an example of Theresa May, in Brexit start. A man succeed. Yeah, she has to resign.
Equally.
Just
a point. Allah more sa ko no control man all these resources to wala saba be kerlan tol mun kana resign wala
no ite hanyila kawo fo.
So you want to tell me ko NPP all the resources dia la chairman on la pour kaje ko
Yes, because I mean ngajele min spent min detail ning National Assembly electoral kono. And some of these consequences because if you look at Banjul, the whole of Banjul a la population near an consequence dol me anko 3 consequences le in Banjul near an consequence dol compare ibaje la ko consequence kilimo le wartete e consequences like Banjul yena jibe minister mil nangamo bije yena jibe min detail yena jibe the area they need to cover for a campaign woliena ila sit loose fati o abala fa warata
to be specific na tare ko the resources si fa wala dila
resources all bijele resources all men buko because resources man tambi kodola bi resources man tambi kodola itel fangol ya yitandi itata jani election tel fango futata president ba wato minna ayete nita jela consequential to wuli kemelulu Gambia kodo wali dita consequential
every constituency 500,000
okola MPP lompatiti jam mi ya lonko ye moto min soto patima soto mobility is not a problem okola NPP keta patiti mi ya lonko ala ya harje mansaya bente lebulu privat wato banko nyaton ko NPP and NPP is the ruling party president o wulita a murunta ka Gambian kol jarama kila jarama murundi kam pour ye carte faya e men nakari elect as a president and during this campaign resources man tambinin na president we wuli ay NPP la candidate ol bulomuta ke karafa electors la ka foy ko ninnon na candidate ol de al carte faya
and Hansa then question wala ko nyinin karobe dami ko National People's Party moto min be bulate mobile mo jamala nyinin karobe dami wala nyinde ko National People's Party within a very short time frame ni moto ni fon be so nyade meaning ko jama baye accused for they are looting into the coffers of the nation min kata Gambia banko
olmo politique diamolti oppositional opponents la diamol lo wolti President Barrow ye ban so much so that nakata political tola and in the state vehicle presidential vehicle bokata and NPP motoleka ta me alon ko political party le tamo NPP o motot
it doesn't make any difference
like
in NPP la motokata but na tara koy banko la ko dole lut pour ka
so ni motol nata wato minna fango anene be drive kan around Greater Banjul area ani milbe moto kono kacha kona ayayi tandi familie o moto sanaye kibar janjannali yol janjandile andung president o mu banko nyaton koleti andung ntel nimbe kwerin nale ko NPP la Politico kodo kodi wo kodi ka use je an masakunda kodo nebuka dunje president o ye molle soto milia lonko de ilata la communauté lata la nyame ya kanu ya je ko Gambia na ba bulo kono abe bulu kendole ko nileketa multimedia lonko ibe presideno koma ibe presideno la party support kam ibe nafulo di kam presideno la ibe motol sankaye because it will fan they believe and the NPP lon party ti ilata minna ye party kanu and President Barolo nyaton ko ilata minna nilebe party sponsor kan.
I want to believe, and then this is what many are saying. Ni mo fenete mi alon ka be ka kensen because ni ajibe ni president ko mutol wala ko muto jamat sikay ka sangay wal fanan they are expecting something in return. There should be transparency. President mo ina dan na ka podron ko karinyol le moto ni sana but anyanta ka continue ka tandi mo la ko dalina jamala ko yat na ni mutol dita puri ka je ko because ni wonten ni yo motol sangay yo jorang ko do be diala ibe president bulo ton na nola ilafta e fe wo fenke ya be wala kele.
I mean, yes. I mean, I coming. No jama in believe soto. Every gift in politics coming to investment lom. Mobuka kuka kensenko. But I will tell you, I will not believe in this 100% because nteka kuta mfangola. Yeah, definitely. I've been in politics for a while. But I mean, ntenga lon nako leadership o ngam fanje group kono manke ko malankote nse leadership sotonole but I mean ntemang o believe soto coming ko ntel be nyanta kala nyaton kolte anu be nyanta ka politico kele pour ka fen soto je nyanta ka spend le pour ka fen soto je because ni contributor bankola development wala ite fangola personal interest bijele Gambia nintel be contributor in our own ways ite you are into media ibe Gambianol sensitize la ibe cool bondile e nyoto Gambianol la fahamu robe waraka ndebe senola karola dobe kapinta yala dobe kudola be productive be keda be wulitaw we get this willingness to be productive be wulta nga banko doko ke nga banko developed at the end of the day until be la collective interest be wala bala but not politics comme ko itebe kuku ninkela ayke ila personal interest ninne ka kambe mbalia nat because it an individual interest and intel individual interest yes, will be different and there must be a point in time nilse conflict nole.
Okay.
Many problem le face kam NPP because Gambia in general la make NPP damadi nimbe party jamal le kono. I mean molla jernya politico la is not the way we should see politics. Politico nata banku do wala amanna coming na baluo nyininje. So because of this, the problem also can political penkoldo. Nimu kuleti fami ya lonko ay problem ba sambana na selection watu. Molla choices all different. But ninga banko je. Mbebe la frim banko la nyato talla. Pour kasi ka more competent dingo tombo ate kole yala. So sorote siala andung nding be nga jewonya nsa mbajela sa jewonya mafananko molbe sotolale milia lonko is be nafulo sotolale ay nafulo sotolale se min speano ka presideno makoy ka politico makoy satra ibe lafring Gambia la nyato talla anan Gambia la tarabulu kendo kono but amanke ifangola personal interest amanke ibadi kanne pro ka president no bulo tormondo pour tell you if kunkeli nafa so ntela jero to because e ka kutam fanna batati je because birinta nga tam fangola ko nte mantra politico ke kam fenna nte nga nyinindro kele follow tan simola mansula kadung NPP pour ka moto soto nga because biring at the age of 25 start ka moto sam fa ya manke fam 40 man si dung NPP pour nga korda soto I mean, over a decade ago, ntenga function korda soto mbota luwa sola andu say alhamdulillah min siata korda kilinte fulati abembulule mansula parti politico kela NPP politico kela pour kan function nafa soto je pour kan na business o londe on la ka investment soto je because ngawol be kele ntarola nafa hamurola nsembola So nte man jiki Politico la pour ka fen soto je wala ka attention on soto because nin dol be fo kanne nil be ke kanne to get attention nil be nin dol ke kanne to get promote recommend or things like this is not the case. And I believe there are millions of people out there milia lonko itel fanam ibe parti ma ko kanne ibe president o ma ko kanne for the greater good of Gambia, but for not their personal interest, for not being rewarded back.
Okay. Yes. NPP mo parti le miya ko warta la science. And then Allah
mighty. Warta back.
Kabiring Allah ni move ke. I think the first thing Allah ni call in for a press conference. Da miya long kali kibatalal kumande kala campaign tandi.
Exactly.
And ni nara ke fende miya long kakeda no brikam. Bari for caller alto la move was it felt from moli akalam talabang wala kabra kira ali kumando sul kabala sandoka tandi ko album min alabula wala ko album min ke almi silon manta or whatsoever for moli akalam talatul be min ke
yes moli akalam mutala presently nsa foye no operation cleans NPP na WhatsApp forum moto it is the most active WhatsApp forum and the fastest growing WhatsApp forum. Because small man understand them. Biri moli understand. Momon di ni dunta je. Ni even 1 hour ki je yella moy. Yes, though we have few people mili alonko. Mala fo ka memory problem oleti, fo ka other problems leti. Though few people ka dunne, nka je ka finti. They left. Yeah. Bari nsa fo ko operation cleans NPP. Na WhatsApp forum is the most active WhatsApp forum and the fastest growing WhatsApp forum in terms of membership. Very soon, we limit sotola, and we may go to Operation Cleans NPP 2. So, more button kalamale. Actually, now press conference, and in the for press conference, I take it rokele. Benin tembo minto, in the regional executive or in the national executive hall, they are working very hard to make sure Congress yakumandi as soon as possible pour ngana nyaton kol ngana parti nyato dada because it will be later in nako parti problem obi leadership o balale problem obi executive bala and me mbe ngalo ne mi en cause NPP mu parti kutoleti menna sanyi flanyangole bankanten man sanji sabo fango soto parti ni mbirabe lokam politico be sora jaw politico be durim bakele time man soto pour better structure ye dada pour politico se tamandi nyabe ni ne mbatanti because bring president o baita kabo UDP mol milia ala noma wolle wulta katabake lota singola campaigno keta wonin kafudol milianon ka ibe lorino ka president la agenda support kat wollom baro youth national development and baro fans club wolle nata kafu nyoma NPP wuluta wole kono but rigorous process manta pour ka leadership nin tombo nin benim problem wole kono andung na nyaton kol fango ya lonne ko nin non to nyaati andun na nyaton kol so tonya e botan kalamale even a day before the press conference a lot of them reach me ntemo to for jam on the phone na party leadership yes Dolien discouraged from the press conference Dolien encourage but I mean ntemo fansun kebalete ntemo nim banku dingoleti aname law abiding citizen ntemo NPP party dingoleti na NPP kanule I mean and I definitely I used to allow consultations and definitely regards the mol fanana opinion lale but nteketa molti me alonko I have confidence in myself latam fangolale and I definitely trust my own sense of judgment nintata fonga kuo min plan starta ka execute nka make so le nga reason soto mbe kele minna so nini be diamuta na reasons of going ahead with it or not going ahead with it will depend on itella opinion versus ndela judgment. So but will be biringa be jibe nata je komenko I mean many minna manyanna ka stop abe kole ala nyawne at the end of the day ni non to nyati andum be mol soto lale andum mol ben support lale mol ben follow lale because mbe dadaro la manta tinyar la anu ninne bije I mean in our programs na plans kono we don't have any program because nga no advice le fam mo kana diamu nati jam mo kana agenda nati jam mo kana ku nati jam yalla ko abe NPP divide la wala abe reduce la wala abe ndoyala anything we want to have here is something that will put us together, that will help us build NPP, that will help us build the trust and confidence of the party supporters so that NPP will be on its feet again. For a better NPP, for a better Gambia.
Abaraka baki hansa enten don kafo jibe lale dronko albe bulakang LSTV1 no ma programme to mi yalon ne kon kafa Gambia la Politico min kanale araba lungol la ko mi nga fale commande non demande nyame bi fana luntamba ben fe Gambia la Politico programme to mi munna luntamba to wolem Fanding Baldeh te mi yalon ko adabe molla kono mi yalon ko tolle operation cleans NPP walla fanko kanaka NPP jankundi kuke wolem na luntambate mi alon ne ko nabe kacani soto kam Fanding hansa enten dombe continue kacala but mo jama ya ko fanan ko atol alketa mollete mi alon ko altariata kanyala bayre nyin ciamanol mi alon ne ko be kanefin Banjul anin West Coast ñun lom mo kilimote mi alon ne ko tolle o massive victory diala in the presidential elections oto jama ya ko fon ko atol tariata la pour ka ko nyim mole comme ambe al kumanda pour aller à la place au bula bayre kabri yo victory ba diala wokata fenete mi alon ko atol bele o mbresal bele contanda oto natara fanan ko hello so be manganyero tino nyi ndonga al nyanta al niya demande mo rather than al commandero ka fo ko la place o nyi
yes ila o muto nyaleti ibe konole biringa o yandi be nyatole biringa o landslide victory soto presidential elections bari Mr. Fati nyaton ka yale ni nata kafuje group wo group political group wo group tata dawoda nyaton kol ka traje na diata nyaton kol le to kaf wala ne ko nyaton kol mu suntu ko ngolete na kuyata nyaton kol le kafo because it alone the central decision makers the responsibility they are the people me along they are charged with the responsibility of leading the party coming out for a jang in a professional setup that means along ko mol bulo ko iti la doku wolto ma dunia karol jele milia lonko ila mol ila politico sambanya ila baluo sambanya la banko sambanya mol nyabo bori la kola wol mu ana manke performance ana manke katakule dita tax le dita la mi alonko ima try i fail taji even daji koto ning daji ka nata boyla koto mi ya lonko nyaton ko manyanna ka wadaji ka sifa bundi nyaton ko manyanna balula ni wadaji ka sifa la ike forcer le yela palaso sai because nyaton kol kake kulet ikake role model oleti nyaton kol kake mollete mili alon ko mol nyaka boyfe yonga generation nyaka boyfe ka lafika ke telleti nim daji ka bote bala mi alon ko amam betaya mol ma wuli kayita ndi molla nimmam betaya this is not something this is not right abuka ke yonga generations ye ku jawoti isa emulate no len so nil even though near success in the presidential elections near landslide victory kide but problem will be party konole milia lonko ibije for another time to time me along a escalator. They have time. And inyabalan ni inyamaje wala tinna the word incompetency fanan nata. Whether inyayaje wala inyamaje but inyanyanta kajele ni inyamaje then imela palaso dafa iman competent. So because ni problem will bije iman sol inata ni malo sabu molla ni mashibo sabu molla nata ku sabu molla famia lonko amina molla doku fanga minke presidential elections that victory amina kala consent in the sense ning last National Assembly election munebe kala no what would have happened ni UDP get more seats in the National Assembly than NPP wala ning kanyanta no kat mi ya lonko anene manki janga for na video do anene manki jang over 4 decades ago munebe kala no ngadi bata mi beke presidential elections nga victory soto nga patil ke nga wurol ke ni dunta parliament no kono with the majority. The first thing they're going to pass is going to be a bill of no confidence. But and if a president or impeach, is a president or impeach no?
Okay. Iko Allah silolo ali min taman in the presidential elections. Wala kita silolo timial ne ko mil block because alle sunya role ke trying to get in people mial on the balbina na katre fay. Iko wala silolo timial ne ko yo block wala yatin na fango sign tinga ko ta mo be ko kita multi presidential election of.
Nindula ka fone bagale ninga ni moy ko sunyaro keta presidential election nga what I mean UDP ko le petition no sabe nga sapero ken ni pangola fan comme une president ni petition no abe failan parce que ite ko election mi alon sunyaro keta birin carte kaso control commencer ta altel fango be celebration ola ite mambo sunyaro kalama fo we know keta wato men and there is no single polling station UDP man polling agent or sort of time in la petition auto there is no particular point yemi nyininka come in vote rigging ninketa dame in la petition on imbeto mil come in the state as abnormalities milketa during presidential campaign and other things coming ko fengol mil data cartel santa I mean ite carte sango fango onte ka moele but nte ka jele coming ko theory lo mi alon ka abe politician ol kun kono but in reality ate caring e ka dol moy carte sa be carte sango la nka video jele campaign time o e ka findinde fa e ko ka molle bay e be carte sango la e be mola carte sanna nyaade le at the following election day atele na la carte kata polling station do ka carte fay carte sango ya la carte sango la if anyone the voters scatter bitale polling peko so I mean so nimu kenkoleti nimu politics leti ko biro e buka da kenso ngo boy nin dula mam foetel fango ya lo nako na election no mu rig proof leti there is nowhere in the Gambia carte sunyata dame UDP fango mislead tale because of a way of propaganda and a mole I mean, especially coming ko itebela campaign based kanum back social media leto. In a mall they were very active there, and honey baby active in J. Wole momentum di la J. I mean, siata J. Ya mira ko ye mall sotole. But niminka korosi roke back. Ye UDP la kafola movement o jibe. Yela mitinol jibe ifan kajele komenko I mean it lola NPP fee at that time in compared to NPP la movement and la crowd vote marik presidential elections a lot of Gambians unitedly come together voted against UDP for various reasons. The regional be able so.
Okay.
A lot of them Gambian or Finditale unitedly again voted for NPP and President Barrow with the fear of giving the country to UDP based on a reason soul. But difference nata ke minta National Assembly elections here President Barrow and Usainu Dabo counts because it alone party heads and the party counts, but here the personality and the candidate fana matters. Ntelanga problem soto ni loto. Ning divisional man soto nung NPP kono. Mbe National Assembly fana win na wanyale because Nyajibe in most of these consequences, these unsatisfied applicants, National Assembly applicants, mili along ko etata NPP. Ye la vote sol ni NPP candidate la vote sol kafu nyonkan. UDP that need most of these places we lose. I don't need most of them NPP related. Most of these people are independent candidate applicants. Milia lonko ya apply NPP ticket la is because they are not selected. They are rejected. That's why it are independent. So they have voters and their votes are NPP votes. Mill voted for the president. Mill voted for NPP during the presidential elections. So, this National Assembly elections is a victory near Jibe for UDP and a defeat for us. If you look at our National Assembly, in the National Assembly composition of Jibe in the National Assembly, because recently, a number means Sotoji. It's a victory for them in compared to the National Assembly.
Okay, if point mamira ko alla ni move ni is a bit selective. Akamunda ko alie molle tomondron alla tamil kuman la ka fo ye ji la place o nyembula. Ko mamira ko alnya dal bulo chod la min fula wala President Adam Barrow in the sense. President Adam Barrow hata a toll la mi ko is a constitutionally mandated toll pour kataka banko be murumuro. And I use le pour kataka kumandiro ke electorate la banko de pour carte file NPP candidate wala. But ngajela I work la rural Gambia kabra fara kombo mapon I mean ko la nyindi ko campaign in call off and then akada fendi mi alon kay mo jama jahalino akamunta ko ning albul chodiro kala alnyandal bulo chod la President Adam Barrow la dalila jamal yatina man na ko mo pour campaign yo kala aspirance ko mi ayake rural Gambia nyani
Hani, the president no blame no lanyan. Ite president no nka mole to command the president no, ad mole be sirim president ya. President no manke moti. Ninko president is an institution. Mole be siri milia lonko itata dokuola. President no na la family ibe mararing wala topotor kuola. Nim presideno nyanta ka finti bifango ka diamo analtel alla ka finti electorate molle la dokuomu ka presideno prepare for a public address. Likewise nim presideno be finti la ka ta tola inni ati na party ye leadership soto government Gambia Bank of an leadership soto.
Anda kamuta ko sorry just a minute kamuta ala campaign balia mi ko amake just a minute ala campaign balia mi ala ko amake rule ayake rural campaign mi ko rural Gambia amake combo akamunda ko woy min tan do wala nyinde ko campaign yo kedama gagnata wolta man campaign yo kedama man gagné wolta oto mo folo nyanta min question wala nyinde ko President Adam Barrow munan na kabrin tumala min na combo iman na pour campaign yo
hambe wala nga wala foye e ko nga president no blame ko inte president no blame la.
This why we said Allah nyi move is a bit selective.
Aman selective so president no ye moleta doku wala anu leadership o tomontale mol miliyar ko ibe marala president no la banko tamandi nyala ani president no fangola affairs la president no birabe wulikan anyanta kata trolla molle la doku mo kasi kala campaign itinerary dada inai nasi ya itandala nim woliye o dada nata moyko imang itinerary soto je for West Coast ite president no blame la wala because nilmu moleti mi alon ko president no alate la makamola alate al ila londola ning ibe fefe nim present la ini la reasons le kana and it's a group of individuals a president no late la ini la dalilol le minaka so e dalila presenta ya abe wole mutala and am so iba back la nim points la ado hadama dingo especially mo hakilima nani sita kukundina fengpending aya different most of the time e ka to wole to because anim points will be kana pour ka decision or different so wo fanan contribute tale Now, follow in one of my videos as the causes of this poor performance. President no wiltale ay banko mume murum. And we believe there are parts of this country, me alonko. President no amanjere fang ay time bar wastewater because I development project infrastructural development or milke o aerial. Wol damma fango be campaign ke kam President Baroye. Because yet dula jibe URR. Dula Dolbije, well, they were cut off from this country because of Silol Ninkudol. Well, they are connected to this country. Well, Namake President Barola Kuti, well, Boka Kumoy. So, Italian Takaminke at that time, Biri Futatawa area la, ye more time means spend because Sunkaro Kana, Yanta wole limit lanum. Amanke kana futaje. With a time you spend hours committing all kije, wale man necessary. Mfutatala jail because nga believe like presidential convoy damman, presidential motol. Wala tada manda mo fango makamoleti. Wafango dammamu kibirolti, fango dammamu campaignolti. Kata kaitandi banko dingol la ko. Natale jang manna lola. Na futata wo community to ayayi tandila ko manna lola natale kal tank pour allier carte fay na minna kamurundi president ya ani wokola kar député bulo muta kari fele anin kari fele namoli wolle tombo mo monning bente president baro noma e laftanna parti e lafta Gambia la al cartel fay niye ngana député karfala naye okay rek time will be limited ibajela more time be sotola pour kana jam fanam bari e maw calculation okay e maw won dongol fanam be korosi much time spent provinces in nata for LRR iko andu lataninale there was no itinerary in the presidential campaign and wala tina President Mamfuta West Coast KM and Banjul and because President Mang murumurung ke ning tembolto nin député carte fayo mol man na sawar jil fango because akibiro man na wara amaka man na wara akala mutandiro man wara so much so that we found a voter apathy cause in the National Assembly elections mo jama manta carte fay
akamunda ko wato min membul wato nya akamunda ka doyata back so okay. Melak la nga jamma kon fast track domain yet again President Adama Barrow West Coast KM nim Banjul ko la julo bala because I Gambia na fulol ta in their name and nga nyamto so pour ka fotawo mol ma amam futal and then jama baya fo fanko wala keta dalilo to miyal ko West Coast ngol woku campaign ya sabu they voted massively against President Adam Barrow and the National People's Party.
To correct you, this National Assembly elections coming for Nyame, voters did not vote against Adam Barrow,
but against his aspirants, that is the NPP parliament.
Yes, Milota NPP ticket la. But
that is NPP and President Barrow.
they did not vote against. Voting UDP winning.
You either vote for or vote against.
Yeah, they didn't vote against.
No, they voted against the
No,
NPP.
NPP voters voted for NPP candidates because we believed the majority of these independent candidates, they are NPP members.
But remember, you have very few candidates. Me along with West Coast, Banjul, and KM. Me along with they are independent candidates. Most of these areas, UDP living and other political parties. So meaning it is an indication that they voted massively against
UDP and other political parties winning because our voters are divided between the choices made by people supporting NPP. Because some of these independent candidates, they are supported by our political party leaders, our NPP leaders.
An example?
No. I told you here, I will not be naming names. I will not be giving. But West Coast Janga Asiata Jambake, we have consequences from Combo East all the way to Fonyi. Independent candidate also, they are supported by NPP leadership, NPP leaders. So, independent candidate NPP kolle ba koma, NPP kolle be carte failaye, and NPP kolle carte fayaye.
Okay.
So I'm coming for it. People did not vote against, our NPP voters did not vote against NPP and President Barrow, but they voted for the candidates, Milia Lonko. They are all NPP supporters, but under different tickets.
In your claims,
independent and NPP.
Allah kumakanga to press conference. You made this claim. Alko Allah molmi Allah chairman in yanta kela tinted glasses will bonded. And also, although for all the deadline di mola pour kaje ko janni o wato nyanta ila place o nymbla wala fa nyanta design.
No man deadline dealer. And okay, you dula follow me for tinted glasses. Yes, I mean nimman fontebulu, but ngaje one of our speakers I need for. But I have in a sense coming if you are a leader in a political party. So party dingol ika proud kela party leadership will jele. So nin tinted glass mu barriality. It's a barrier between them and their supporters who are proud of seeing them, socializing with them. So Akai Tandila Ko, I mean, this tinted glass is also causing problems because, I mean, Kajelo coming ko leadership ka useless, I mean, ki famabo, wala ka barrier create inila party dingol tema, mimma nyanna ka ke.
The claims, kumakani ya bamanile ko Allah chairman o ni ala ko be nyin area to wala molti nyal ko ye fan wara ila electorate ila woka sabu ke tinted glass or soronga ka sabu fo ibike.
I believe nimbe kerine. I mean tinted glass, I mean I believe mol kakele based on different reasons, but ngajele ko aman normal. It's not okay for a political party leader come in the party leadership like the regional executive soldier. It's not okay for Italia use, and it's not okay for na political party motor fango ya use. Maybe the executive we also use based on security reasons, but it will be at the middle level, that's regional level, and you could among it's not just okay. Because model baje can come ko fan warolom anin kudol aka barrier aka barrier aka pharmacy baliyale nati iteni mol tema. When iteni mol tema, the public relation alla PR should be good. Itemi mo nyinin naleti itemi mo tioleti elafta molla ite nyanta ka fintile moli je ye pharmacy mole ni mole hadamaya wato premier mol commandi wato moli dankuila.
In the event ni moli teta moli ni anako man congress commandi man think and then they fail to resign, what is going to be your next move?
No. We are very sure it resign la. Because I mean what is very clear.
Nima resign.
Because momi ya lonko coming for a responsibility detail. a la competency be this level, a failed to this level, wo lacks professionalism. And people who lack professionalism doesn't have anything like resignation in their mindset.
Okay. So in the event he might resign, he man Congress command. What is going to be your
what Kela? Hani might resign. Congress is on the way. Efforts presently. Okay. Efforts ning. I mean, katakul beke kande to make sure Congress is commanded as soon as possible. Wabeke kande anu Congress be commanded because ning Congress man commande party te dada nola because ning Congress lebe party ning structural.
Still now, contrary to your claims, altol ka commandero minge alko la nyimol ila regional chairman ila katabalia wala ya sabu from altol fota. But kumo mi alon ka be bambandi Gambia banko dingol de da ko wala nyinde ko dalilo min fon yakna banko dingol de voted massively against President Adama Barrow and NPP. It's because President Adama Barrow la katabalia amam minke pour ka je fanko ka bata ko Gambia banko dingol kam. Very innocent jama bal kam ko wala nyinde ko. You have a lot of problems mi alon ka be larin Gambia banko dingol kam. And President kata modi mi alon ko he didn't say anything about those things. Akatu daring. Number one, we have insecurity. Mol katara janne mi ala katula boila mol kam president nala mol katu daring. Number two, price hikes. Luolu mola domolo daka kolea Gambia banko nyinka. And also the corruption scandal upon scandal. Wo bika kefendi mi ala ko banko la kodo nyinka kefendi mi ala ko mol ka loot. And president nala mol ka ke mol mi ala ko katu dera. And way me signify wala nyinde ko akamunde ko tol fon le be laring wala ko man ko kam ko samu fon singo be loring fora nyinka. So jama baye min folo nyinde ko President Adama Barrow niya nyi fo ba ko nyinde ko amambata ko bondi Gambia banko ni wol kan contrary to what altol kamin ko ka ko Allah regional chairman mo liya ko fango hanali wol bondi wo ku kilol be because science you have a lot of people me ko they are losing faith in the president
ba be correct la hanibi ngoy ko people don't vote against President Barrow ngaw reasons dile already nim problem o ben leadership o kono mi alon ko ay nim problem o nati Mansakunda because ngani fole ko Mansakunda la timo te beteya nola the ruling party la leadership man beteya so the dalilol mili alon ko ngani poor performance soto call it a poor performance kana for Gambian voted against Gambian don't vote against us until la vote so divide by having a lot of independent candidate but now for ele jamko ninna independent candidate la carte kesol ninna NPP carte kesol la fata nyoka na UDP butele ni la jamal to nge bute da men presidential election bari so nga continue okay. Because time man soto okay. Even in min fo kantem banko to definitely a problem jamal le bicha jamano be koleare na leadership ol fanan ngani reasons for le failure soto jele oppositional be nin ko komboka ne wato wat iba exaggerate la iba donki la mol tulo kono banko bata min be ke kanja problem wol min be ke kanja de la leadership ol be siring ibe tenkundi pech iman fana man trawuli kan kadiamo Gambia nolie nim fana contribute le NPP dingol mel sita e bulo la nyonka imanta carte fay e discorrecta because ninna kake ini mimbe nyola wo every day abete la fault fola banko la kolea fola aba exaggerate la banko be tenne sunya rol be kala corruption no marketo price will be hiring ite be siri be tenkunde adun del fananga bundal soto le milia lonko we have a presidential spokesperson you can understand we have an information minister we have NPP na campaign committee soto le media be janne. So instead of itel fane ye wuli ina si nyatilin Gambian kolla kayitan diko nim bata min be kering ni jamano la kole amanke Gambia damat this is globally api dunia bele kono presently ni a foye domori fengol mil buko farinyo nin tulo wol dabe kosri nyamen in Central Europe and Western Europe Ibe deal as a Gambian.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. 1 minute. 1 minute.
No, let me continue.
Just a second.
Just
a second. Yeah. Ni ajibe komi mo jama kami claim wala nyindi ko tonya len probably this might be a global issue. Bari fanang banku iko dunia be sindi mo yalo ne kela sindi mo jara nyami. Go to the markets. Man sakunda e nyaka si martelal ko man sakunda fa mantara Gambia wala marché fa mantara Gambia kono. Itara marché be mani boro sanina jan trap bidik do e ba sanna nyinde man sakunda e nyaka si ko bidik wol fa mantara Gambia banko.
Ibe nyakasi dokuo lebe keka ne barabe slori na wala nan ko dokuo mantra keka ime nyakasi dokuo be keka ne bar dokuo be nasirin because nim problem wo be caring ni situation sifa be caring eka problem wol ning identify because problem won is theater but as mansakunda ibe wulilal bari nim mansakunda mantra akekan anyama nim correct leadership wo be na patila NPP la itelle bayi tandila na government team la president on la cabinet Mr. President satebe tenna molbe diamo kanna andum woseke non na political damage ndel fananga wole bof diamo ni actionoto alingata ni bundal ni institutional to ni departmental to toroto action point will di la minister la action point will di masakundal nyaton ko la departmental nyaton ko ka make so problem will identify solution will je kanin problem will mitigate bari komi nga foy nyame na masakunda leadership ninte beteya nola na party leadership man beteya ninte for instance ninte be NPP leadership okono men nekela mba make so la fana mo min fana na do koti yewuli yeta mediato ni opposition la diamo min be keka ifana yewo counter ya yitandi la ko jamano la kolea amanke Gambia damage dunia belon masakunda bala katakol kekanne ali steps wol mil yitandi ali action point wol mil di yewo yitandil nga minister kari bulale nga director kari bulale nga commissioner kari bulale ay ninninke masakunda bala katakol ke kan ne kaje ko nim problemo will be solved as soon as possible jiko ni lanaya sabatindi isondo moto that's the hope yitandila this is what politicians do yitandila ko there is hope things will be better yitandila ko tomorrow will be better than today because new hope because hope among curricula ye hope je jiko atele powerful ta even kele jora mbe dunia kono but we feel okon
okay it be
is very powerful
and yenyi miro soto do you want to tell me ko president Adam Barrow na la entire executive itol manyi miro soto ka foko mol benin ande ka mol lungolung because radio bafala newspaper bafala loud la on social media tare je mol bafala and mol be wosi kan luolung president Adam Barrow ka bata ka fenkola tonin na akadia mol on the price hikes aka fu mol so that is an indication ko he was fully aware of the struggles Gambia banko dingol be mike kan. And then this is an allegation. If President Adam Barrow does not react to these things, he is going to lose in all the subsequent elections, most especially the next presidential election.
Yes, Walatina Operation Cleans NPP Nata. President Barrow abe boring akalamale. Me min foka min nyanta kake wole mantra keka. Abe boring akalamale. Obviously, I'll be boring a Calama because another dimba I'll be seeing Janne and in Gamiano Kakachale every day. Aka television o jibele. Mpepenim beke President Barrow, kabir President Barrow le korenta nteni teti. Masakel they are very correct.
We expect.
Yes, I alone the mimbe caring. But me mim fokanten. Leadership problem ole benna patila. And this is why until nata lota ngaje ko nganna pati dada nganna pati nyaton ko na pati leadership o dada ibaje la ko wolse government team o dada nintel be wol detaka wol fane government team o dada pati ye beteya Gambia e beteya mbe ngata nyato
wato kamunda ko Bantam Baldeh. What will you say to this claim? President Adama Barrow found competent, so he will never want people who are competent to man positions. What do you say to those claims?
Well, I mean, malo yenin tadame bari nga arimbiriya forek hakilo bulata Sidia Jatala diamola bring President Barrow kayo ko mba retire nila will leave us, and we did that. Biriyenim forek hakilo bulata la respond la
Alfana retire nit la do level.
Hani ntel mantel retire ndi dulato ntel mu new party leti
Okay.
ntel nil mantel la député boy ndi dulato no NPP na député man win boy dulato ibe siri ndame NPP mbato
Otakamunda you only contested one seat because what time on député killing Balbo.
Yes,
but you had this cross-carpeted MPs mi anko ibal to le kono NPP ye wala boy
UDP ibe no searing even though they were supporting but UDP seats low. So what at in the UDP seat niba fokam it reduces from 35 to 15.
No, but yet again Allah wo MP mi anko ye boy the likes of Sekou
nka wala foyeten yo dulalje if this selection process atata right no problem sotolaje. Let's go to your final question on it. Talking about
incompetence of the president, and also he wouldn't want people who are competent.
Yes, our president is competent. And our president is doing very well. That he wouldn't want to work with competent people is not right. The very person who said that, President Barrow, invited them into his team in 2017. They refused.
Probably they don't want to work with mediocre. They don't want to work with a mediocre president. Probably.
Try him and prove yourself. Whatever reasons available, try working him and prove yourself. But you worked with that person and effect a very, good change. Get a victory. His leaders, a victory million long, I'll tell you, struggle. He decades ago, with different leadership, Alma Ateno, this president you call him incompetent or not, and you happen to get that victory, even though the country's development is not satisfactory, the speed and the way things are going. But our president is competent. There is this quality in him that he possesses. No other presidential aspirant possesses it.
Mr.
The president may fail in other sectors, but a lot of achievements and some of these are very important. We being here today, I'll tell the existence of President Barrow achievement let installing democracy, empowering freedom of expression, media freedom, democracy leveling. So Gambia no nyantaka alatin to work bakela. The president is competent and he definitely admires competent people and he definitely wants to work with competent people. Definitely.
Okay. Coming off nyama kamunta ko watu mimbe mbulu abanta perem.
Wow.
Ngamra fankombe wati sunyal. What are your hopes in the next subsequent elections? Gambia Banko Kanya. How will you rate the performance of the National People's Party in the next election, mayoral elections and then council elections?
The hopes are very, very high. Like I say, MPP, this poor performance, I take it baleke, and it make us identify a lot of problems will be existing in the party batande. But in the same NPP mantala, let me tell you that we still have our strength and we still have our voters intact. Division mimbije be wo solve lale and what division any problem will cause the emergence of the independent candidate. I assure you, and I'm assuring Gambians, what a sotola in this next in the subsequent electional minkana. We will emerge victorious, and we will conquer all this local government chairmanship.
Mr. Baldeh, yes. We will invite you here again. We invite la jankoten ni wo fen ko nyimbanda. Probably science mune be kelela yamarlot if you have the chance to advise NPP dingolo Gambia banko dingol.
Be NPP dingol yamar la min drong nga try nga individual interest put aside. Nga politiko je ko anata banko doku wala amanna ko pour ngata na balu la nyininje ni nga jo wonya rek kambe baliabe talala le ni nga jo wonya rek mbe kafula nyomale ni nga jo wonya rek mbe kala kilinti le andun sakata nga kilinti nga Gambia je ni nga Gambia je rek mbe nga niyobe kala kilinti ntening divisional sotola ntening kambe balia sotola. So, I mean, MPP ngaloneko mantala, we are intact. Na bota sol we are intact. Min sotota tonya ayen dimine. Bare ali nga fo nga landi. Ali nga diamu nga landi. Nga ne differences landi nga na together nga patije nga Gambia je. Because ninga party bete yande pour Gambia ye beteya del Gambia nol bela nyato tabe wole bala adu ninga party bete yande mbe lafri minna pour NPP ye Gambia mara sanji jama mbe o fanan sotolale sa try nga nyato ka kendol tombo milia lonko i loyalta party ye ning congress nata ye nyato ka kendol ye tombo milia lonko i loyalta party ye e competenta ye daji ka kendol soto ye ethics ni integrity soto e baje la daji ka kendo be kala kulete mi ya lonko abe dundi la parti kono abe balundi la parti kono pepe ni ya lonko abe tamaka mansa kunda amanke siloti nsa keleno nga bondi pour na banko se nyato ta soto ngani na soto mbafala MPP dingole
abaraka bake Fanding Baldeh mi alon ko tolle dabe mol kono mi alon ko tolle ka foni loy ka fay operation cleanse NPP komi kan fo nyamen don ka o firindro wolo nyinte ko pour kana ka NPP senendi kotenke a telem na luntambati mi alon ko ka senendi ku a telem na luntambati mi alon ne ko ngaso to Gambia la Politico to min kanale LSTV1 araba lungol bela kajibe lal tentu bake ke jayi ka fale ko ala barka bake ale wato minta pour ka bulanyim programme ni no man na luntamba Fanding Baldeh nga tentu bake nga jayi ngala wato min deta pour ka je fanko kanaka mabe ni programme to ka fale ala barka bake anim fanan na tenturo ni jayro mba cikala ka samba na camera manol ka min kala Ousmane Diallo anin na lady champion min keta bajen kamarate mba fale ala barka bake alto lebe sirinya num camera nyin ko pour ka je ko image ol nati mi yalo ne ko be beti ala bake oto kamala mba fale ala barka bake ale wato minta fo arbana la inshallah